Hello and welcome everyone to Season 4 of the Ruin Hammer live show where we talk all things One New Zealand Warriors. Thank you all for joining us. Tonight we're going to be talking about that wonderful Warriors win at home against the Sharks, and we're going to preview this week's game at Mount Smart against the Raiders. Joining me tonight as usual is my good mate and co-host Warrior Roo. Rob, how are you, mate? How's your week been?
Yeah, doing well, thanks, mate. It's been an interesting start to the week because, as I said last week, I'm starting the 75 hard challenge. That started on Monday. That's been an interesting start to the week. I've had to be very disciplined in all areas. So those of you who don't know what 75 hard challenge is, over the course of 75 days, you got to stick to a diet. You got to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. You got to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. You got to drink a gallon of water. You got to take a progress photo, all this stuff. So, it's just something I decided to do to try and combat the fact that I put on a ton of weight since COVID. So, appreciate everyone's support and everyone who's reached out about it. But, I'm going to push on and hopefully nail those 75 days. We've got a long way to go. How you going, mate?
I'm proud of you, mate. You only got 72 days to go. I'm proud of you. Seriously though, it's great to see. You're making a conscious effort. We only have one life, don't we? And we should all try and live the best one that we've got, mate. I'm doing well. Back into the full swing of work now, which is really good. Started a new company, really enjoying working for them. Still doing the Garbo stuff, it's going really well. And this weekend, got all my kids coming down. It's Dad's birthday this weekend. Will be obviously the first birthday that we celebrate without him. So we're having a bit of a family weekend together. One thing Dad was big on was he loved his horse racing, so we're going to go for a day out at Rosehill Racecourse and suited up and go have a day and celebrate Dad. So awesome. Really looking forward to it. Mate, tonight. We are back live streaming to both YouTube and Facebook. We always kind of made a decision that once we hit the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we'd go back to the dual platforms. We really just wanted to build that YouTube channel up a bit. We've done that now. So, going back to both platforms tonight. So, be interesting to see if we get anyone joining us on the Facebook forum, because we haven't used that for since the end of last year, wasn't it? So going to be interesting.
I think we did one. I think we've done one show since then. But just as you said, been trying to build up the YouTube channel. Thanks heaps to all you guys who have supported that and got behind it and watched us on YouTube. We will predominantly be doing the show through YouTube, but every now and then we will sort of cross live to Facebook as well for all you guys that have been missing us in Facebook land or don't have a YouTube account. But if you do want to join us, like our YouTube channel handle is there across the screen down there. So you can always catch us on YouTube every week, and we've got we got our live show and we've got a lot of pre-recorded stuff that we're putting on there as well. Absolutely.
Just want to shout out to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Sean Kurzweil's in the house. The Samoan Metalhead. Ciala's joined us. Yep. The Clough Stuff. All the way from over there in New Zealand. Congratulations, brother, on the job. Got a new job working security. Malcolm Earnshaw's with us as well. Shout out to all you guys and girls that are joining us live. I just invite you, if you haven't already done so, to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as Rob said, to show your support of the streaming content we create. Subscribing helps build the channel and puts you in the draw to win some exclusive Ruin Hammer merch whenever we reach a nominated subscriber milestone. And I'd also like to acknowledge and thank our wonderful supporters and subscribers, particularly our Patreon subscribers, whose donations and support enables us to upgrade the visual presentation here via StreamYard to bring you all the content and guests that you enjoy so much.
Yes, mate. We're extremely humbled and grateful for all you guys, as I said, who have jumped on. And I'd like to acknowledge all our bronze tier Patreons and thank them for their support. But a huge shout out to our gold tier Patreons. We've now got 5 of you now, so thank you so much, fellas. And you wonderful people are Alf Tuolave, Malcolm Earnshaw is with us tonight, Chris Wellington, our good mate Ken Wills, and Nigel Phillips, who jumped on this week. Thank you so much, boys. We really appreciate your support. And for those of you who are wondering, Gold Tier comes with a couple of T-shirts. So any of our Ruin Hammer T-shirts from our store. If you're a Gold Patron, you get a couple of T-shirts with that membership as well, as long as all the other little bells and whistles that come along with the Patreon membership. So thank you all so much for your continued support, and those of you that have upgraded to the Gold Tier, and we appreciate you all so much.
Yeah, 5 absolute legends. Really, really do appreciate you and your support. Mate, let's discuss this Warriors win against the Sharks at home. It was basically going into the game. There was no changes to the actual 17, but Webby did do a little bit of reshuffling with the side. Josh Curran, he was sent back to the interchange bench. Mitch Barnett moved back to the right edge. And Tom Arley came into the side with his first start for the season. The Warriors are wearing their Indigenous jersey in honour of Matariki, the Māori New Year. And the home crowd celebrating and recognising last week's milestone men who played their milestone games away from home. That's Sean Johnson's 200 Warriors game milestone, Dylan Walker's 200th NRL game, Adam Fanua-Blake's 150th NRL game, and Wade Egan's 100th NRL game. So, great to see the home crowd celebrating those milestones with those guys. It was a Warriors win. Warriors 44. Wateni Zalesniak 2, Berry, Fanua-Blake, Metcalf, Nickel, Kluxted, Curran, Pompey tries, Johnson 5 from 7 goals, Metcalf 1 from 1. Over the Sharks 12, Hines, Nakora tries, Hines 2 from 2 goals. Mate, take us through those all-important game summary and key moments.
Absolutely. Let's get into it. Well, first thing I must mention is that for those of us who are watching it over in on Fox Sports in Australia, you may have noticed that a certain sacked coach was in commentary, Hook Griffin. All I got to say is why. He was, to be honest, he was a punish to listen to. He did have a few good comments, and he obviously knows what he's talking about, but he's got that sort of country Queensland sort of accent that, it just made it very hard to listen to. And I do not understand why he was in the commentary, but anyway, we'll move on from that. Cronulla, they dominated the early possession and field position, and they forced the dropout after we let a kick bounce. And as Gus Gould always says, if you let a kick bounce, you're inviting disappointment into your life, or it's something like that anyway. But the defense early held on, luckily, and we got a penalty, and we put in a crossfield kick. Dallin, it was just a little bit too far and just out of reach. And the Sharks, they continued to dominate possession after that, and Hines threw a big dummy, and he strolls through in the 9th minute, and a pretty poor miss from Adam Pompey, and that went 6-0. And I think your comment at the time, Hook Griffin actually said, through some pretty poor defense there, and I think your comment was, well, he would know, wouldn't he?
Correct. That was my comment.
Dylan Walker came on, and again, as he always seems to do, he completely changed the momentum of the game. Some sharp hands from SJ and CNK found an unmarked DWZ. He strolled over in the corner in the 20th minute, and that got us on the board. Sean Johnson missed the kick, and that put it at 6-4. And then 5 minutes later, Berry, he ran a superb line from a Dev Sean Johnson pass, and he went over to make it 10 points to 6. And that's when the momentum completely switched. And then we had 2 quick tries in succession. First, AFB, he crashed over for a try, and then a superb, absolutely wonderful run from Egan. Fantastic lead-up play out of dummy half. Found Metcalf backing up. He's the second fastest man on the planet after the Fox. And he went over under the sticks to score. And he almost got a second try right after that, just as fast as he is, just slightly offside from that Johnson kick. And Cronulla, we got a little bit sloppy in the back end of that first half as well, and we sort of handed over possession. Cronulla, they went close in the 37th minute, but a superb try saver from Montoya put Katoa into touch. We held on for that 22-6 lead at halftime.
Yeah, 86% completion rate, 54% possession, 4 line breaks, 20 tackle breaks. It was a really good first half from the Warriors, although I must say that that opening 20 minutes was a bit of an arm wrestle between both sides, and it wasn't until like that 25th minute when or 20th minute when the Warriors kind of kicked into gear, that first try to Dallin. The try for Rocco Berry, we've been quite critical of Rocco's development, saying that he hasn't really come on the way that we had all hoped or expected him to. But I don't know, everything just seemed to click for him on the weekend. That line that he ran, he could have so easily fucked that up, because he had a lead runner running as well. He had an outside runner running as well. He chose the right line to run between two defenders. Took the ball really, really well too, because it was a hard pass into his that he had to take, and that try was outstanding. But Wade Egan out of dummy half, absolutely brilliant. That little run that he did to set up the Metcalf try, mate, that was just phenomenal.
Thing of beauty.
Yes. Great backing up from Metcalf. We've always said we need some speed in our side, and Metcalf's bringing the speed, and of course the AFB try. That was just pure grit and determination, a want and a need to find the line in that one. Absolutely outstanding. Mate, AFB in that first half, he had 87 run meters, 37 of them post-contact. He's almost getting half of his run meters as post-contact. 4 tackle breaks, the line break, 16 tackles and a try. Egan, as I said, he had the 3 tackle breaks, 38 meters, a try assist and 17 tackles. Johnson with an all-important 40-20 in that first half. He had a 362 kick meters. He had 2 try assists, 2 line break assists, and Mitch Barnett getting better and better with each game. 100 run meters, 3 tackle breaks, and 15 tackles. Absolutely outstanding from those 4 guys in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely superb. They were the key performers, continue to be the key performers in this game as well. Moving on to the second half, and the Sharks, again, they were looking the better side for the opening period of that second half. And it was big Tommy Hazelton plucking a stray kick, and he showed no signs of a treadmill. There was no TB122 in sight, because the big man showed a clean pair of heels. He dead set ran away from CNK and Metcalf. Didn't look like he was moving very fast, but he clearly was. And he got over the line, and you're thinking, oh, this is them straight back into the game here. It was like a try that the Warriors used to always concede, being hot on the attack, and all of a sudden they're back up the other end under the sticks. A try against a run of play, but thank goodness there was a bit of a hand in the ball that propelled it forward onto SJ. So we had that try pulled back, and there was another period where the Sharks were attacking the line. SJ, he put on a hit on Mulatalo, and it was crucial as well, because if he got that try again, that would have been them right back into the game. But he did enough to push him into touch. And then this is what the moment that broke the Sharks back for mine. It was the superb break from Rocco Berry in the 56th minute. He found CNK back in support, and he streaks away to put us up 28-6. And I think that's when the Sharks' head started to drop, and that's when we'd sort of broken their back. And then a fumble grubber from Kennedy almost resulted in a try, but then in the following set, SJ put Curran over out wide to make it 32-6. There's still 20 minutes to go, and once again, you're thinking, there's an opportunity here to put on some points, and that we did. Quick hands from SJ, and Berry put Dallin over for his second, and he broke out the Henry Farfili coconut celebration. How good was that to see, like about 20 odd years later?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I did notice it just so happens that Henry was on the Monty Beetham's Once a Warrior this week, and he was talking about his post-try celebration, said that one was easily his favourite. Yeah, that and the Ghetto Blaster was the other one that he... Yeah. The other memorable one that he had. Yeah, great to see that kind of homage. So... that put us up 38-6. Sean Johnson slotting it from the sideline, and he was taken from the field not long after that. There was a bit of a ankle injury there. I don't believe it's too serious, but he was taken from the field as a precaution, as you understand. Towards the back end of the game, Moylan, he found Nicaragua running onto a short ball, and he got the ball down despite some heavy attention from CNK. Pretty good effort to try and hold him up there. And then the man, Nico Hines, he was sin binned with 3 minutes to go. Adam Pompey, the much maligned Adam Pompey shows some great footwork, and he puts the icing on the cake to make it a resounding 44 points to 12.
Yeah, mate, you mentioned it before. The Sharks started the better of the both halves, but it's almost as if once the Warriors got points, they just dropped their heads and they just, struggled to stay in the contest. Absolutely outstanding win. Second win against the Sharks this season. The full-time stats, 55% possession, 37 from 40 completions. That's at 90% completion rate. 10 line breaks, 40 tackle breaks, 281 tackles, very high missed tackle rate. We had 45 missed tackles in the game. And that could really hurt us in games against some of the more fancied opponents. Someone did ask, Shano has just asked in the comments, honest opinion, and it really means nothing, but if we were in the grand final against the Panthers tomorrow, do you believe we would win? I will say no. I just think the Panthers are just on another level at the moment. Although, if I'm going to be truly honest, I think there's only 3 teams in the competition that can probably beat the Panthers at the moment, and I'd say Melbourne's one of them. Melbourne just have this way of being able to grind out games. I think we could beat them, and I think the Cowboys probably got the team to be able to trouble the Panthers.
Fair shout. Yeah.
I don't think any other team in the top 8 or thereabouts really have a shot. Even the Broncos. Broncos have had a great season, but if you played every game at Suncorp Stadium, if we played every game at Mount Smart, we'd be probably up the top of the table as well. They've been very. The draw has been very kind to the Broncos.
What did they leave Queensland 6 times in the whole season? Was it something like that?
Yep, yeah. Six times. We're going into round 21. 21 or 22? Going into round 22. No, 21. 21. Yeah, going into round 21, and they've left Queensland 6 times in 21. Like they've played 15 games in Queensland,
and we only get 9 home games.
We only get 9 home games, and they've played 13 games at Suncorp.
They had two away games there. So they played Manly as the away team and the Dolphins as the away team as well. So
yeah. Absolutely.
We've received our first ever super sticker on YouTube.
What is that?
So thank you for your donation, Family Under the Sun. Appreciate that.
I don't even know what that is, but congratulations. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple have joined us on Facebook too, so always good to see some Facebook people joining us. Mate, just some general discussion about some highlighted players that I just want to talk about. First of all, Dylan Walker, 147 run meters, 48 post contact, a tackle break, 2 line break assists, and 23 tackles. Absolutely outstanding from the bench, isn't he? He was a point of difference in this game, and he changed the momentum of the game, I thought, too, when he came on. Yeah,
definitely. He's just Mr. Energy. Plays well above his weight, and his stat column is always filled. He's just like the perfect 14. And the game, the tempo of the game always changes, and he's just so versatile as well. Like he can play in that sort of halves role, or he can make those tough meters, strong runner of the ball. So he's going fantastic.
He is. Speaking of going fantastic, 2 guys that led from the front for us on the weekend, Adam Fanua-Blake and Mitch Barnett. For Adam Fanua-Blake, he had 164 run meters, 62 of them post-contact, 5 tackle breaks, a line break, 24 tackles, a try, and a try assist. Mitch Barnett, 142 run meters, 59 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, 28 tackles. How did you rate their games, mate? The 2 big men.
Yeah, brilliant. AFB. He's a second leading try scorer in the club still as well. That was his 6th try of the year. Dallin way ahead on 15, but yeah, awesome. Like the post contact meters are so valuable from AFB. He just leads the way. Barnett is becoming like a bit of our enforcer. You see a couple of times he was grabbing players and ragdolling them. A little bit of Gordon Tallis in there. Yeah, I just love he's like taller and leaner, and I just love that kind of body shape in a front rower. And
Yeah,
he's added so much to the team since he's come back, and he's probably still finding his feet the first couple of games, but yeah, he's really coming into his own now.
yeah, absolutely great signing. I was excited when we signed Barnett. I actually tipped him to win the Simon Mannering medal this year, and obviously he spent a bit of time on the sidelines, so that won't happen. But he's making every post a winner. That's for sure. But yeah, Adam Fanua-Blake for me is the premier front rower in the game at the moment. They talk about Payne Haas, they talk about Junior Barlow, and Regan Campbell-Gillard, and all these other names that they throw around. Josh Papali'i. But for me, Adam Fanua-Blake is the best front rower in the game. He's the most consistent front rower in the game. Yeah, he's having a wonderful season. The guy in the middle next to him, Wade Egan, at hooker, often maligned, has been criticised in the past about his style of player, his gameplay. Mate, he's got to be in the top 5 hookers in the game at the moment. He had 57 run meters out of dummy half, tackle break, a line break, 33 tackles and a try assist. But that try assist was all important, and it's what he does and how he gets us to points on the field and how he isolates the markers. He jumps out of dummy half. He has that no-look pass that he throws. He was outstanding on the weekend, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was brilliant. That try assist kind of reminded me of back in the days with Aaron Jeremiah, where he used to dart out of dummy half all the time and catch the markers napping and set up tries. Yeah, it's brilliant. He's really unlocked his attacking game this year. It's been superb.
Yes.
And yeah, let's just hope that he manages to dodge those pesky concussions and play out the rest of the season, because yeah, he's going fantastic. As you said, top 5 hooker.
Yep.
In the game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the Warriors have a history of, or in our history of our club, when we're performing at our best, it's when we've got a hooker that has that kind of gameplay about him. And you think back to PJ Marsh, think back to Ian Henderson, and as you mentioned, Aaron Jeremiah, and then even 2018, Isaac Luke.
Yes, of course.
Premier hookers that really got us around the park. Chance Nickel-Kluxter, we talk about him every week. Absolutely outstanding. For me, he's the buy of the season. In the NRL, 179 run meters, a tackle break, a line break assist, a try assist. His kick returns, his returning of the ball, he runs with effort every time he takes the ball up. Having an outstanding season, isn't he?
Yeah, brilliant. And we say it every week, and he's just almost, I wouldn't say boring, but every week we're just like, how good's he been? Like, he's always got close to 200 run meters. He's starting to add to become put a little bit of ball playing into his game as well, which is awesome to see, because that has been one criticism of his game of years. Oh, he's not a ball player like some of the other fullbacks in the game, but he's starting to add that string to his bow. Try assist. And what I really liked about him was, even in like the last few minutes of the game, he was really busting his gut to try and stop Nickera from scoring. And that's really encouraging to see. Like they place like a high price on getting the line crossed.
Yeah.
So he's as you said, buy of the season. But we've got plenty of candidates in that area.
Don't we? What? A man who's had a real resurgence this year, and he celebrated his 200th Warriors game last week against the Eels, 201 this week. He had signed a new contract, extended his stay at the Warriors for another 12 months, had his second child born last Friday or Saturday. Sean Johnson, mate, his game, just absolutely outstanding on the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, superb. What more can we say about him other than it's genuinely career best form from him, and he's loving life. Like, a massive week for him, like personally, and like he celebrated in style against his old club once again against the Sharks. He's doing everything right. 40-20, like I haven't seen a 40-20 from him in a long time. He produced one of those at a really crucial time in the game. Like, he's just running the show, and I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier with how he's going.
last season we were very critical of his kicking game.
Yep.
His fifth option kicking game last year was just put the ball in the air because that's what he's expected to do. But this year he's kicking with purpose. He's looking for the corners, or he's putting it up high to
tactical.
Players under pressure. He kicked for another 609 kick meters this round. I think he's leading the kick meters with over 5,300 kick meters this season, which is absolutely amazing. But the other part of his game that's really impressed me is his defense. He's never been, one of those guys that you would call a reliable defender, but he's tackling this year. His defense this year has been outstanding. He rarely misses a tackle. T. Miller says that 65-meter line dropout was epic in that first 5 minutes.
Good,
absolutely. Yeah, it was. Really set the tone for the kicking game. The last guy I think we need to chat about is Rocco Berry. What did you make of Rocco's game, mate? We briefly touched on it before. Yeah, what did you make of Rocco?
Again, someone that we've been pretty critical of, and I think we were critical of him in the first few minutes of this game as well in our group chat with Brad and Richie, saying, Rocco is just looking lost out there. Like, he's really tentative. That's been my observation of him and probably criticism of him for the last few games. He's not really running the right lines and this and that. And then, of course, he produces that try, and then everything just sprung off the back of that. And he had easily his best game in first grade. He's and I think he's one of those guys that when he realizes how sort of big and strong he can be and what a strong runner of the ball, and if he hits that line, he's very awkward to tackle because of his body shape. He's kind of he's different. He's quite tall, but he's also fairly solid. When he fills out, I think we said this last year, when he fills out and puts on a little bit more muscle, like he's going to be unstoppable. And let's just hope this is his breakout game and he goes on to continue this form because, he made me eat my words for sure. 129 meters, 7 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, a line break assist, 1 try and 2 try assists. That's good. A centre that can pass as well. We haven't had too many of them over the years.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. We haven't. Petahiku was probably the last real centre that we had that had a bit of a passing game on him. But as you said, it was a little bit indifferent at the beginning of the game, but it just all turned around for him. It's like everything just clicked. Yeah, it's just like everything just clicked. And I know he's only played a handful of first grade games. I think he's up to 24 or something like that. But everything just clicked. But the thing that impressed me, not only with Rocco, but Rocco, Dallin, Marcelo, and Pompey, was the Sharks' outside 4 in Ramian, Talakai, Ronaldo, Mulatalo, and Sione Katoa are very good players, can find the line. To keep them quiet in a game like this, I think was really, really impressive. So much so that Talakai's even been dropped from the Shark side this week. Well,
they only scored 12 points, and none of those guys even look like scoring. You're talking about those 3-quarter backline players. Yeah, so it was superb effort.
Yeah, it was. Mate, who did you give your Dean Bell medal points to for this round?
Geez, this was a tough one because, again, as we seem to say again almost every week, it's so many candidates to pick from. I gave my 3 points to Sean Johnson, just outstanding, involved in everything. We've already touched on it. 2 points went to Mitch Barnett. He had another barnstorming game there. And 1 point goes to Rocco. It's good to see him get on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. For myself, mate, I went the same. I went 3 points for Johnson. I just thought without Sean Johnson orchestrating our gameplay, and we don't get that win. Well, not that much of an emphatic win. I gave 2 points to Wade Egan. I just thought he was absolutely outstanding in the middle of the park there. And the 1 point, as you said, it could have gone to so many. I was thinking Mitch Barnett, but I just think Rocco Berry really deserved to be recognised for his efforts in this game. So I gave Rocco my 1 point as well, which means that Shawnee got 6 points. Barnett, Egan, and Berry all got 2 points. So that has moved Sean Johnson into the lead, equal lead with Adam Fiddle-Blake.
Yes.
Yeah, on our Dean Bell medal tally. So Adam and Sean are both on 42. Chan's close behind on 35. Torhu on 26. Wade Egan on 20. And Mitch Barnett on 11, with a host of others now following them. Mate, let's look ahead to this week.
Yeah.
Coming up against the Raiders at home again. Do you want to go through the team?
Yeah, we do it all again back at Go Media Mount Smart Stadium on Friday against Ricky's Raiders. And the team that was named during the week, Charles Nickel-Klukstar at fullback, Dallin and Marcelo Montoya on the wings, Rocco Berry and Adam Pompey in the centres, Luke Metcalf and Sean Johnson in the halves. Up front, Adam Fanua-Blake, Wade Egan and Bunty Afoa returning to the run on side. And Jackson Ford and Murata Niokore, he returns from suspension. And Tohu Harris at lock. On the interchange bench, Dylan Walker, Mitch Barnett, Tom Arley, and Freddie Lussick. And the extended bench consists of Bailey Sirenen, Josh Curran, Tonsils Volkman, Tane Tuapiki, and Viliami Vailea. Now, the thing that got me about this side was definitely the bench.
Yeah.
So we've got Dylan Walker and Mitch Barnett, Tom Arley, and Freddie Lussick. It's a little bit on the lightweight side in the sense that Dylan Walker's not a huge man. He plays well above his weight. And then Freddie Lussick there. I feel like Freddie Lussick is wasted a little bit. If you can have someone like, or Dylan Walker himself could play a bit of dummy half. You got Bailey Sirenen, who's been doing that job fairly well. He's predominantly a second role, but has been filling it at hooker as well. And the big one for me, Josh Curran, not in the side at all. I mean, he made his return last week and played very well, in my opinion. So I was very surprised to see him left out. So I'm wondering whether there may be a late change there. And also Bunty starting. Like, I think we could see Mitch Barnett going back into the starting side and a bit of a shuffle around. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Lussick drops off the bench there. What are your thoughts on that team?
Yeah, Lussick only got Gutho minutes last week, didn't he? Gutho Origin minutes.
Yes.
Like he came on in the last couple of minutes to give Wade Egan a bit of a spell when the game was won. For me, Wade Egan's an 80-minute hooker, and I'm, I mean, if he's our number 9, then you pick him at 9 and you play him at 9. I know there's people, and Ciala said it in the thing, maybe Lussick will start against the Raiders and that, he can take the sting out of the game before Egan comes on. If I've got a hooker like Wade Egan, he's playing 80 minutes for me. Yeah. And Lussick would only ever be a backup if Egan was injured. I'm a bit perplexed as to the bench because that Canberra side is a massive side.
Big units,
they've got Tarpany, Papali'i. Hudson Young's not a big man, but Elliot Whitehead's a pretty solid man. They've got Emre Gula coming off the bench. They got Pasami Solo. They got Adam Mariota, who are Big Red, Corey Horsburgh. So that's a big side. So carrying 2 smaller guys on our bench, kind of a little bit, I don't know.
Well, Walker has to be there.
Absolutely. Walker's got to be there. I'd be starting with Barnett. Bringing maybe Bunty off the bench, Tommy Arley, and I would definitely have Josh Curran on my bench. But it'll be interesting to see if there is any changes. In saying what we've said, I have absolute faith that Webby knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not going to second guess him. He's done, a fabulous job with his team selections all year. So he's picked this side for a reason. And hopefully at the end of 80 minutes on Friday night, we'll know why.
In Webby we trust. I think I saw that on a T-shirt somewhere. Yeah.
I agree with Chris Hardy. Maybe a game plan from the coach, but I wouldn't want to change the winning formula. I wouldn't either. I would have just stuck with the same 17 that played last week. Yeah. But, the Raiders pack is massive. It's a massive pack. So we're either going to do one or two things. We're going to try and meet them and take on that big pack, or we've got those smaller guys there to try and wear out their bigger men, take the sting out of them.
Roll over them at the back end. Yeah.
It all comes down to like ball control, getting through our sets, completing our sets, and where we turn the ball over. So long as we're not making stupid mistakes and silly errors, and we're turning the ball over with good fifth tackle options, and they're coming out of a corner down their end of the field, their big men have to keep turning around and moving back to get back behind the play of the ball to bring the ball out. I think we'll be fine.
It's going to be raining. It's going to be raining, though.
I did hear that, and we haven't been good in the wet.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
And if any Auckland viewers can confirm, can they quickly check the weather report? Clough stuff. What's doing with the weather?
Yeah, Brad Inger's in the house. He'll
Brad
let
Inger,
us know.
yeah.
And also I'm looking forward to Rocco Berry taking on one of the elder statesmen in the game in Jared Croker this week too.
Yes,
we spoiled the party. Yeah, we spoiled the party for his 300th. We spoiled the party for the Raiders. It would be great to get another win against the top 8 side. We've downed the Sharks twice this year. It'd be great if we can down the Raiders for the second time. It's meant to be pissing down. Great.
Yeah, great.
Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens.
I just love beating Ricky Stewart. I just love to watch his presser again where he's all cranky and blaming it on the referee, blaming anyone other than his own players. So he'll have them fired up because we ruined their party last time. So
I was on YouTube tonight just watching a few little things. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I was on YouTube earlier this afternoon watching the highlights from the 8-minute highlights package from the Tour de France. I'm actually a bit of a Tour de France fan, so I was watching some of the Tour de France highlights from last night because I can't watch it live because of work or sleep. And then another YouTube video came up, and this was just before I tuned in to watch Brad and Richie's show tonight. Another YouTube video came up that I watched that I thought was quite funny, and it's the 10 biggest blow-ups by coaches in post-match press conference. And 6 of them were Ricky Stewart.
6 of them. Tubes had to have been in there as well.
Tubes was one. Yeah. Bellamy was one. Shane Flanagan was one. But yeah, 6 of them were Ricky Stewart. That was a good watch.
But see, the funny thing about Bellamy is he's always blowing up in the box, but he always seems quite measured in his press conferences.
Yeah.
But I think he's always been careful because he's not used to speaking without swearing for so long, I think. Like some of those guys, I find that a lot of the coaches come across as really inarticulate, but that's just because they're censoring themselves in their head. Yeah. They like Des Hasler, for me, always used to come across like he didn't know what he was saying, but he's probably just one of those blokes that just the air turns blue around him. So
yeah. Well, the Viking Kings in the house.
Viking Kings called it early.
Yeah, 2023 grand final winners. Oh,
okay.
You'll be doing it from 8th, I think. Oh, yeah, you've gone off way early, mate.
Yeah,
mate. Let's should we have a look at the other games? Yeah.
Yeah. So round 21, and it kicks off with an absolute blockbuster, guys. Thursday night, Dragons versus the Tigers at Wynn Stadium, and I see my mate from across the road, Ted, has joined the chat saying go the Tigers. So they'll be the battle of the spoon at Wollongong on Thursday night. Who do you pick here? This is probably one of the hardest games to pick all year. I'm gonna go with the Tigers. I don't know why, for no valid reason other than I just think they're a slightly better side on paper than the Dragons. What do you think in this one?
Well, I've got 2 trains of thought because both teams' defenses are absolute garbage. So this could be something like 90-92 or 90-88 scoreline.
Well, it could be a defensive tussle. It could,
but then I was going to say both sides don't know how to score tries, so they could be dropping the ball, and it could end up like the 0-0 draw from back in 1983 or whatever it was. Look, mate, I was watching NRL 360 tonight. The Tigers are in a world of hurt at the moment. I'm going to tip the Tigers, though. I have no faith in the Dragons. Plus, I've tipped the Dragons to get the wooden spoon, and I really need the Tigers to win the game to kind of get back on level peggings with the Dragons. So I'm going the Tigers. I'm pretty sure Brad Inger will be going for the Tigers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is Brad got a tip for us there?
It's in there, mate. He's gone, let's go Tigers.
Let's go Tigers. Okay.
But I can honestly say this will probably be a game that I don't watch tomorrow night.
It's Channel 9 prime time, and they get this.
I think
Dragons versus the Tigers.
I think the Hobby Horse World Championships are on tomorrow night. I think be watching that.
I think anything else that's on TV tomorrow night will probably get a few more extra eyeballs. It's better than watching the action, the showdown at Wynn Stadium. But anyway, let's move on, and we'll go to Friday night, which is the 6:00 game over here, 8:00 kickoff in New Zealand. As we said, the Warriors versus the Raiders at Go Media Stadium. So Murata Niokore is the big in for the Warriors returning from suspension. I'm losing a little bit of confidence when they're hearing about the weather, but we got to break that. It's a year for breaking hoodoos. We'll break our weather hoodoo as well. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Warriors by 8. How are you leaning in this one?
Mate, I look at our last couple of performances and we're scoring points on points. We have a lot of points in us. I think it'll be the Warriors, and I think it'll be convincing. I think we're going to by 14.
Okay, I'll take
Warriors by 14. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. The next game is a blockbuster. The Rabbitohs versus the Broncos. Now that's at Sunshine Coast Stadium. What a surprise! It's in Queensland. It's a Rabbitohs home game, but it's in Queensland, and they're playing against the Broncos. Big ins for the Rabbitohs though. Latrell Mitchell, Campbell Graham back for the Rabbits, and Reece Walsh. He returns from suspension after having his original suspension overturned, allowing Origin 3 to count. So this is a tough one to pick because Latrell obviously been out for a long time. But I'm actually going to stick with the Broncos. I think the Broncos will get home by 12. Your thoughts?
I'm going to go the Rabbits, mate. I think Cody Walker he's stepped up a level now with that Origin performance. Latrell coming back, and I saw some vision of Latrell at training yesterday, and he looks fit. He hasn't put on weight like he normally does when he has these extended stays on the sideline. Campbell Graham's a big in for them as well. And the fact that Mitchell's back, you'll see Alex Johnson will get some decent footy again this week. Reece Walsh is a massive in for the Broncos, as is Payne Haas, who missed last week's game. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go the Rabbits. I think it'll be a cracking game though. But yeah, I don't know if the Broncos will have recovered from having to travel all the way to Sydney for a game of footy last weekend.
That I forgot about that. Yeah, that must be so hard for them. Hey, poor babies.
And I mean, they're in Queensland, but they even have to travel 2 hours for this game.
They have
poor old Broncos.
That 2-hour trek up to the Sunshine Coast Stadium. So
I'm going to go the Bunnies, but Bunnies by maybe 2 points.
Okay, it should be a good game anyway. Moving on to Saturday, Super Saturday, Titans versus Roosters at Cbus Super Stadium, and the Origin Stars back for both teams. Tino, though, he is suspended, 4-game suspension, I think, for Tino as well. I know they've been in absolutely rubbish form, but I'm actually going to pick the Roosters to bounce back after they've been copping a hammering across the media on 360 everywhere. Everyone's been giving it to them. They've still got some really good players in their side. The Titans are very inconsistent for mine. They're always in the games, but they struggle to actually get over the line in those close games. So I think the Roosters by 2 for me.
I've tipped the Titans. In my footy tips, I've tipped the Titans to win. I just think, I think the Titans at home, I think they'll be a little bit better than the Roosters. I can't tip the Roosters with any good faith. They've just been rubbish all year. But you watch, they'll turn around and put in this massive. They'll put in a massive performance and look like world beaters, and everyone will be talking about them being the dark horse to make the
the fairy tale run to make the 8. Yeah.
See, Tino being out is a big one, and it's great for us because that 4-week suspension means he's not going to be playing us in 3 weeks either. Or when we come up against him
after the bye. Yeah.
It just means that a guy like David Fafita is going to have to step up The Clough stuff. When the Roosters lose, we all win. I agree.
Oh, for me, it's when the Broncos lose. And the Roosters, though, yeah.
But yeah, I'll
Good one.
tip the Titans, but Titans by maybe 4. Close one.
Titans by 4. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sweet. Second game is Super Saturday, the 5:30 kickoff here. Knights versus Storm at McDonald Jones Stadium. This is the time of year after Origin where the Storm really traditionally start building their momentum. The Knights have looked good the last few weeks. They weren't 100% convincing against the Tigers last week. I know they got a fairly comfortable win, but I'm going to stick with the Storm. I think it will be close. So I think the Storm by 8 because home game for Knights. I always play well there, but yeah, Storm for 8 for mine. You?
Yeah, Storm, pretty easy. Look, the Knights have been going well on the back of Kalen Ponga moving to fullback. He's playing better footy. He's not in the front line defensively. I think that move back to fullback has really suited him. But, Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster and Harry Grant. And
too much class.
Yeah, too much class, world-class spine. I'll say the Storm and, maybe by about 10 to 12.
Yeah, fair enough. And last game in your Super Saturday, Cowboys versus Eels. This is a big game in the context of the top 8. That's up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. And we've got Regan Campbell-Gillard out suspended for the Eels. That's a massive out for the Eels. Geez, aren't the Cowboys, haven't they turned their season around since copping that 66-point pasting at the hands of the Tigers, mate? Toddy has got them humming. They've got momentum on their side, and that's what you need at this time of the year. And they are looking completely different side, playing to their potential that we all knew that they had based on last year. Yeah. I think the Cowboys are going to have a very big win here. I'm going to go the Cowboys by 20.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I reckon they'll blow Parramatta out of the park, and it's going to be a significant one because it'll mean that the Cowboys jump the Eels into the 8 this week, and I think if once the Eels drop out of the 8, I don't think they'll get themselves back in there.
It'd be hard. They got a tough run home.
They got a massive, very tough run home. Cowboys for me. And by a big margin.
By plenty. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, a bit of Sunday footy for you. The Panthers versus the Bulldogs at Bluebet Stadium. So Penrith's Origin stars all return along with Nathan Cleary. Kickow and the Fox both named on the extended bench. Sexy Sexton is still out concussed after last week, and Kyle Flanagan there at halfback. Mate, can't see anything but a 30 or 40-point win to the Panthers here at home against the Bulldogs. They're going to be way too strong.
Yeah, the Panthers will need to have 36 players on the field to stem any points that the Bulldogs will need to have 36 players on the field to stem any of the points the Panthers are going to get. Yeah, the Panthers are going to do this in a trot. It'll be a big score. A big score.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last game on Sunday, we have the Sharks versus Eels. Another intriguing game and another one that will have implications for the top 8 as well. The old Seabs' Sea Eagles are still in contention there. So that's at PointsBet Stadium, so home game for Cronulla. Matt Moylan and Sifa Talakai paid the ultimate price for last week's hammering against the Warriors. They've both been dropped. Connor Tracy and Braden Trindle, I must say, with a much-deserved call-up into the first grade side, are the new faces in the 13. And Matt Lodge, named for the Sea Eagles, playing for his 4th team in like 18 months or something? Year and a half. So, this is a tough one. I think the Sharks, only because it's at home, but I think it'll be a close game. Sharks by 2.
How many paychecks is Matt Lodge cashing each week? That's what I want to know.
I know. He's got like 3 teams paying him at the moment, or 4. He's got the training trial deal with Manly. I think the Broncos, the Warriors, and the Roosters are still paying him.
Paying him. Yep. Mate, I've picked the Sharks as well. I think this is a line in the sand game for the Sharks. They don't win this, then they don't deserve to be in the top 8, and they'll probably start tumbling their way down that ladder. This is a must-win for the Sharkies, and I think our mate Nico Hines will will come up.
We'll do some flat track bullying.
Yeah, maybe. A great question from Richie Sterling in the comments. He's asking, where would we rate Wade Egan in hookers? He's asking, would we say he's in the top 6? What are your thoughts on that, mate? What are your thoughts? And Richie's saying that he does love all your thoughts as well.
You want to know my thoughts on the? Yeah, I think top 5, mate. Top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5
definitely
for
top
sure.
5.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Has to be. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon he's in top 4 at the moment. Top 4 hookers. And the
Dolphins with the bye. Yep. So much needed bye for them.
Yep. Yeah,
and that will be your round 21. So stick with us and you can't go wrong.
Absolutely. But there is more footy to be had this week because
there's more.
The NRLW round 1 kicks off this week. We've got 4 new franchises coming in this season. They've got the Cowboys, the Sharks, the Raiders, and the Tigers. There is going to be a lot of debutants in round 1 of the NRLW, obviously, because there's a lot of, 4 extra sides. They had to find a lot more players. So we're just going to quickly run through a couple of the key signings for the teams that are playing this weekend. So Saturday, the Titans are playing the Cowboys at Seabus Super Stadium. It's a curtain raiser to the Titans Roosters game. New look backline for the Titans with new recruits: Jamie Chapman, Niall Williams-Guthrie, who, if anyone doesn't know, is actually Sonny Bill Williams' sister, who's come across from rugby sevens, All Black rugby sevens from New Zealand. Emily Bass from the Broncos last year. Talia Fui-Mayono from the Dragons. They're all named to make their club debut. Former Dragon Shaylee Bent, who's also making her club debut for the Titans, and our great friend and Wahine Toa number 7, Georgia Hale. She's been named captain of the Titans for this 2023 season. For the Cowboys, Jasmine Peters, Autumn Rain Stevens Daly, Emma Manselman, Shania Power, Tiana Rustran-Smith. They're all big off-season recruits for the Cowboys. Congratulations to another of our good friends, Wahine Toa number 38, Kira Dibb, who played for the Warriors in the 2020 season. She's been named to captain the Cowboys in this inaugural season. Mate, I'm going to pick the Titans in this one. I think they'll just be a little bit too strong. I think there's 9 or 7 recruit debutants for the Cowboys. I think it'll be a good test for them, but I think the Titans will get away with this one. What about you?
Yeah, I have to agree with the Titans. They look a little bit too strong, a little bit more experience there. I think they'll get the job done.
Yep. Second game is the Knights versus the Dragons at McDonald Jones Stadium. Curtain raiser to the Knights Melbourne Storm game. The Knights have many new faces, with many of the big names from last season moved on. Laishan Albert-Jones, who is the niece of the great Stacey Jones, has been named at lock for the Knights. And they still have 3/4 of their premiership winning spine in Tamika Upton, Jessie Southwell, and Olivia Higgins to lead them around the park. Mate, the Dragons have also had a significant number of players move on. However, they did sign reigning women's Dahlia medalist Racine McGregor for this season. I think the Knights will be too strong for the Dragons, so I'm tipping the Knights.
Yeah, Knights will be way too good, I think. Yeah, they've still got some very good players on that side.
Yes, they do. And the next game is the Broncos versus Roosters. That's played at Sunshine Coast Stadium. The Broncos' 2 big off-season signings are Kiwi Ferns Melly Hufunga and Gail Broughton in their backline. Tasman Gray returns to the club for her second stint as a Bronco after spending time at both the Roosters, the Warriors, and recently the Titans. And Robbie Teitzel joins her in the back row. She was the inaugural captain of the Knights last season. Excuse me. The Roosters have their world-class backs in Corbin Baxter returning from maternity leave, Isabel Kelly, Jess Surgis in the centres, Taryn Aitken, a huge off-season signing in the halves, and Amber Hall in the back row, Keely Davis at hooker. But the big off-season signing for the Roosters is Millie Boyle in the front row. Mate, I'm going to pick the Roosters in this one. I think the Roosters will be way too strong for the Broncos.
I'll go an upset. I'll go the Broncos.
Oh, mate, you Queenslanders like to stick together. In our 23 predictions for 2023, I actually predicted the Knights to go back to back, and that was before all these contracts came in. Now these girls have signed multi-year contracts. I'm actually changing my tip. I think the Roosters will win. I know Brad's on the route. There he is. He's got heart, love hearts. Love hearts in his eyes. Mate, on Sunday, the Eels will play the Tigers at Combank Stadium. The Eels with a new look backline with Wahine Toa 46, Chantel Stowers returning after missing the last 2 NRLW seasons. Rachel Pearson's coming over from the Dragons, as well as Elsie Albert to add some grunt to the Eels pack. For the Tigers, a new club, obviously, this season. Botil Vetti Welsh and Rakea Horn have been named in their backline. Both girls really know how to find the line. The big signings for the Tigers are in the pack with Sarah Togatuki, Christian Pio, and New South Wales Origin captain Kazi Apps leading the way for the Tigers. Mate, I'm going to tip the Tigers in this one in an upset. I think the Tigers will jump out and get the win.
I'll stick with the Eels in this one.
It's not the men's Tigers, mate. It's the women's Tigers.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
There might be something in the water.
There could be something in the water. Mate, and the last game of the NRLW round is 2 new teams, 2 new franchises. The Sharks versus the Raiders at PointsBet Stadium. For the Sharks, they've got Tiana Penatani, Kiana Takarangi, Taylor Preston, and Emma Tonegado, the big names in the backline. Tonegado making the shift from fullback at the Dragons to play in the halves for the Sharkies. And the Sharkies forward pack also boasts Ellie Johnston, Tegan Dimmick, and Vanessa Foliaki and Quincy Dodd at hooker. For the Raiders, a couple of ex-Warriors, Wahine Toa number 2, Arpy Nichols, and Wahine Toa number 25 and good friend of ours, Madison Bartlett. They're among the big name signings in the backline. Zahara Temera, she's been named in the halves and will play alongside her sister Shantae for the first time ever in their careers. English import Holly Mae Dodd, she's been named in the forward pack alongside NRLW veteran Samaima Taufa. And the big one for the Raiders is something that's a little bit of a pull on the heartstrings. The daughter of Warrior 123, Ruben Wiki. His daughter, Mackenzie Wiki, has been named to wear that iconic number 4 jersey made famous by her father. In saying that, I think the Sharks will get the win. I'm going for the Sharks.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think there's a lot of strike in that Sharks side, so I'll stick with them.
There is.
This game, yeah.
And that's round 1 of the NRLW. 10 rounds of that comp to come. Semis and grand final coinciding with the NRL. So we'll be doing, including them in our review each week and doing not so much of a big preview like that, but we'll do a preview of those games each week as well.
Absolutely. Don't forget, we've got live shows coming up. So upcoming live chats and events in 2023. So we're back to our usual 7:30 time slot every Wednesday night. So most weeks you can find us on YouTube. The YouTube channel there is across your screen. But we will, from time to time, be back on Facebook. So, yeah, you can catch us there. Make sure that you like and you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything, including our pre-recorded content that we upload every Monday, our round review of the NRL and the NRLW as well. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss anything.
Absolutely. And we will have a couple of new faces joining us for a bit of a chat in a couple of weeks. We've lined up Levon from the Wires Up podcast and Jared from Warriors Anonymous to come on and have a bit of a chat with us in a few weeks, give their thoughts and opinions on how the season's panned out so far and the run home to the semi-finals for the Warriors. So that'll be, I think, in about 2 weeks. We've got those boys coming on.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, be a good chat. Before we wrap it up for the night, I just want to acknowledge and thank our wonderful supporters, especially our Patreon supporters for their continued support, and give a special shout out to our gold tier Patreons, Alf Tuolave, Malcolm Earnshaw, Chris Wellington, Ken Wills, and Nigel Phillips. If you want to show your appreciation and support, you can head to our Patreon page to subscribe to our bronze tier general support level, or head to or sign up for our silver or gold tiers, which includes supporter merchandise and other benefits.
Yes, well, speaking of merchandise, you guys, thank you to all you wonderful people that have bought some T-shirts from us. It's been going gangbusters this week, so we really appreciate it. If you do want to get yourself some unique Ruin Hammer merchandise, head to our Redbubble store. The link is there on your screen as well. get in fast. They still have 20% off all orders. That finishes, I think, tonight. So if you are keen on some Ruin Hammer merchandise, like I've got the old school Francis Melly, Hammer's got the Wahine tile. We got shirts honouring past and present legends. We got a lot. We got the Up the Waz shirt. That has been our best-selling shirt by far. We got plenty of Up the Waz. We got plenty of Sean Johnson shirts. We got Chance Nickel Clookstar. We've got the Bald Brothers. We've got everything. So, make sure you check that out. Grab yourself a bargain, especially now when you get 20% off. And once again, thanks to all those people that have bought T-shirts. We really appreciate it. Every bit of money that we do make from that goes straight back into the show and helps us to cover our costs and to pay for our licensing and that kind of thing. So we really do appreciate that, guys.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah, well, that's it for tonight's show. Thank you again to all you guys who continue to support us. Great to be back on Facebook tonight and to see some people that we haven't seen in a while. But just remember, if you do want to catch us every week, just jump across to YouTube. As we said, make sure you give us the thumbs up and you subscribe so you don't miss anything. We really appreciate each and every one of you for watching and joining in the conversation. So, from both of us, good night, take care, and up the Waz.
Up the Waz. Everyone stay safe. See you all next week.
Take care, guys.